Hi guys, it's been actually over 2 years since I last did any real work on the video series for this YouTube channel. In the meantime, the restoration of the 130 has been continuing, and it's taken quite a different path to what I initially set out in the videos. So we're actually using a different engine now, and it's turned into a complete rebuild as opposed to just engine conversion. So we're going to start doing these videos again, bring you up to date on where I am with the project now, and hopefully I'll have some fun, and hopefully I'll be able to learn some new things. And yeah, so the first major change really is we've gone away from using the Mercedes 606 engine, and following the crowd a little bit, I've gone for a Cummins conversion. So that's a 5.9 litre straight six turbocharged engine, as found in a DAF 45. But yeah, so it's a pretty well-known conversion now. Loads of power, loads of torque, and obviously more famously they came fitted to the first gen Dodge Rams in America, where there's a huge scene over there for tuning and modification and all that kind of thing. And it's now starting to get fairly big in the UK with things like the Cummins Land Rover group on Facebook. It's got over 10,000 members now. There's probably, I think, 30 or 40 conversions at least that are on the road. And not just in Land Rovers either, there's been all kinds of sort of classic vehicles, trucks, and there's even a Mazda RX-8 which has been converted to Cummins power, which you've probably seen on the internet.
So Cohen, what have you built?
We've built a Cummins powered RX-8.
So anyway, back to this project. It's mostly done really, in terms of the engine conversion. The engine's actually sat on the mounts. It's connected to the original DAF 45 ZF gearbox, which is then in turn connected to the Land Rover LT230 transfer box via a conversion kit that you can get through the Facebook group. The bulkhead's been adapted for it, and I've fitted a few of the extra bits that you need, like that alternator, the turbos off of a later engine. It's a HX35 hull set, and then really now it's just kind of left to do the bits like the pipe work, the fuel system, the power steering pipes, the electrics. So all the plumbing and work is still to do yet. And as you can see, since the last video, we've obviously spent a lot of time on the bodywork. If you can remember, it was really bad condition before, with lots of layers of red and yellow paint that had been applied sort of quite badly over the years. So that all had to be rubbed down, and then it's been resprayed now in Keswick Green, which is a Land Rover original colour, which has come out quite well considering it's our first real attempt at spraying, which we're pretty happy with the quality of the paint. So the engine is sat in on the engine mounts. These are supplied by a guy called Reese Myers on the Cummins Land Rover forum. He basically supplies you the bits, and then you weld them up the way you want them to position your engine. So you can see it's basically slightly off centre. It's slightly to the passenger side, which is the way you have to do these because the steering box is there. And there's not much room for compressor and things on this side, and it also makes your prop shaft runs a bit easier down here as well. But yeah, so it's in. Behind it, you can't see it now, but I'll show you in a bit. From here, there is a ZF 5-speed transmission, which is the standard sort of DAF transmission. Very strong, very good. And then behind that is a brand new, well not a brand new, but a reconditioned Ashcroft 1:1003 ratio transfer box. Lovely, very nice. And the kit again to adapt that to the ZF transfer box is manufactured by Mr. Reese Myers, and he supplies you with a plate and a lovely billet machined gear in order to adapt it to that gearbox. So that's all a bolt up fit really. And then again, these mounts also supplied by him, but then you sort of again weld them to suit your positioning. So you can see that one there sat on the mount there. Again, you can't really see this one, but it's up there, sat on that plate. And then in here, I'm going to try and see in there, probably can't see anything, but in there is a very nice clutch fix or truck fix, uprated clutch, which will give a lot more torque handling and power handling than the standard DAF unit. And I'll put some pictures on the video if I can find anything of that clutch when we put it in. So yeah, I'll keep going backwards. You see we've got obviously everything painted now. Everything is in. Oh, the video's gone funny. What happened there? There we go, it's better. Everything pretty much has been painted in this rather lovely Keswick green, which is a factory Land Rover colour. Galvanised bulkhead, it's all on now, painted. And we've started to put some sound deadening materials in as well. What else we got? Everything else has been slowly getting put back on, being rebuilt. Turbocharger. Now this is a Holset HX35W, which is the same turbo that you get on the high power Cummins engines. The sort of 180 brake upwards ones with the P pumps. It's wastegated, and this is pretty much, you know, it'll do this engine up to about 250, 300 horsepower, no trouble, and a lot of torque. So that's good. That's an upgrade of what was there originally. Was basically similar size but just no wastegate, and a bit of an older design, so that'll be good. What else we got? Oil filler. That's a part from eBay. You can get them on eBay. It's quite good because you obviously don't have an oil filler in the top rocker cover at the moment. You can replace one of these with a hole cut out with a cap for oil filling, but I thought that was quite a neat solution, and it's cheaper as well. What else we got? This is the Transit alternator, LRB 381, I believe is the part number, which fits on quite nicely onto this bracket, and also gives you the vacuum pump on the back as well, which you need for the brakes. So that's ideal really. I'm just at the moment just messing around with supplying that an oil feed and sorting out a return as well. The same goes for the turbo. That's another job that needs to be done. It needs a feed coming from here on top of the oil filter helmet round to the top into there, and then there'll be a drain coming from the bottom down into the sump. Still to do, all of the fuel lines still need to be done, but looks like an easy enough job. And I'm having a bit of a dilemma with the old air compressor pump, which is down here, which is a huge monstrous thing and generates a lot of noise. It does create a lot of air as well, but it does generate noise. So I don't know whether to keep it or to take it off. If I take it off, then I'll have to fit an electric pump, because I do want to run an air assist clutch, and I want to run things like air horns, and I want to run the pneumatic diff lock kit as well that's available. So I don't know, but I think it's probably going to come off. Yeah, so everything, all these wings, this is all original stuff that's been sort of, refurbished. I've tried to save stuff wherever I can, to try and cut costs. So their original wings. They've just come up really nicely with the paint. We've got the original inner wings as well in there, what the focus is. Again, come up really nice with a bit of stone chip. And then this is quite a recent job that's been done in the last few days. A tunnel. Obviously, because the ZF transmission is that much bigger, you literally can't fit the original Land Rover tunnel over the top, so custom tunnel just made out of a bit of sheet aluminium. That's actually a bit of scrap that I had lying around, so that's good. More savings. Modified the floor panels, painted it all up. You can see, once I get some light in here actually, turn the lights on. You can see probably a bit better in here see the transfer box in there, and that's the back of the ZF box there. It's got a sling around it for adjusting it still, but pretty much where it's going to stay. Yes, everything, B-pillars are all in, attached. The roof is all bolted in. Original headlining, amazingly. What we did is we literally stripped the fabric off of it, put it through the washing machine, any vanish oxy action, and literally glued it back on. And it's come up really, really nice. I'll see if I can show you. It's basically, it looks pretty much like new. It smells very fresh now as well. So that was another really good save in there. Loads more sound deadening material everywhere, and there's some in the roof as well, but I'm going to put a bit more in. Okay, so yeah, all painted, looking lovely. And then towards the back we've got the original tub. Again, been painted up very nicely. It's full of junk at the moment because there's no space in here. Yeah, new seals all round. And this truck didn't originally, if you remember, it had the canopy on the back. It didn't originally have this tailgate, which I've sourced second hand. It's a bit dented, but it's fine for this truck. So that's been painted, put on, looking good. Obviously there's no doors on at the moment, but they're all ready. That's them just here in the workshop, out of the way. They're ready to get back on, but will be one of the last jobs, I imagine. Rear axle. I think last time you saw me do a video was this axle had a Detroit locker in it, but now what we've got in there is now a ARB locker, air locker, with obviously the ARB heavy duty cover on there, very nice. And it's also still running the Ashcroft HD shafts and heavy duty flanges, so overall that should be a pretty tough unit now. Should be up for withstanding the Cummins torque for at least a little while. So yeah, just coming on. One of the next big jobs is going to be the wiring loom, because obviously there's absolutely no wiring in this at the moment, so I've tore it all out. And the original loom was extremely knackered, to say the least. It had bits chopped out, it had a wiring fire at some point in the past, it had been badly repaired. So yeah, I thought I'm not going to bother putting that back in, and I'm at the moment trying to source a new, probably a 300 TDI loom, main loom.
So that's it for this video then, guys. I'm going to try and keep this channel up to date with new videos at least every couple of weeks, so you can watch the progression towards a fully functional Land Rover, perhaps. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and if you remember to subscribe you can see how this truck turns out.